man.
Yes.
I mean, who stand.
Yes.
Baby, cover. Upon body.
Ayo.
Nana who watches that.
Yeninam ho.
Obrani de yedwechi. Yeninamu. Looking fresh always.
Thank you.
Hey, Farouk Al Wahab.
Boss.
Oh, Ghana.
No, I have.
Oh, yeah, sure. Untu kwai.
I came about 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know who pay ya sir.
Jose.
Who pay ya too much, are they? What did you?
Oh, David said, Moses Onana. Sometimes no one check me time in ENT.
Time moody,
oh, so say.
And I because every holiday, we enter our buy.
Oh, David, send me a Libra and time na maybe time no. So Momo coordinated time I'm the age man say about 2 hours work. Yes, so no, you share any coordinated time. It's as and when it is sometimes you don't plan your time, it just happen. Nyame fault. So you share now Nyame say me a Libra. I'm just only trotting.
Very well. Once again, when some more kwaba na me na was say your tones are frail. Na waba na ye May Day, Workers' Day, a holiday. Na only ye be ye a juma. Ama Ghana for ati. I mean, there be a Ghana for a happy senko mu be home. Yeah, that's yamrefi, yentizifi. Na before I be back in Semnan Kasaso, no mini come from fast. The last time one. Nkrofobi some money kakra kire soldier for a shaman.
Yes.
I mean who stand.
Yes.
Baby are now the free, but I think you were in support of whatever the military did.
Yes.
To a shaman for.
Yes, at that time. Yes.
At that time.
Yes.
Now in yanko down sorry a shaman. Mr. Kasoa.
Yes.
A dear for Francis so genia yenesa.
Yes.
And a man for in quote say whatever happened or hono. A bit messy, we say it. I'm for you very careful.
Okay.
You just said at that time.
Yeah, but
now your take on what the SEO we say, Kasoa.
Okay.
Your advice and your take on that near day.
Okay. First of all, I condemn any form of murder, whether legitimate or illegitimate, including even your friend is saying statutorily sentenced death row. I'm against that. Religiously, personally, I'm against any form of murder. Now, with regards to the soldier for now, case scenario, the two cases are not the same. The death of a soldier relative, we a soldier, but the scenarios are not the same. We need the facts of the Kasoa one only to read, say, it was land related, assassin. Whether it is validated, say, no say, assassin, assassin is left in the balance. Say mean cannot mean to me enkasa ampa assassin. But in absence of that fact, they see a shaman. It was an innocent soldier, Okoni baby, who was cold-blooded and killed by neighborhood, and then left the body on the street. In the neighborhood, one is saying, "Ukum sojani." And yes, there's nobody that could be murdered in that cold blood action. On team, on Yedidi, on Kasa. So what does it mean? It means that he might have struggled or shouted. Soldier wouldn't die just like that. Even excuse me, so be the Sekai cry, may God forbid. You scream and shout. So are we saying that that small road, that neighborhood, that window, people were living there, people were living in their rooms, people were living in their homes. So if a murder had taken place against a soldier, against any individual, now they not to street so you be back room or be backyard and your park be soon you didn't go to a order in a your friend is a street so you both sides in your houses and that's one tier. Then I'm to say if it should happen even today, soldier knows how to defend. They are to defend the nation. That is the hallmark of a military Nejuma. And it is principally so okum soldier like that. Now the people in the area, Obeka is a military forum, Eddie Kaimai, what is called only a press conference here, press release. So the people in the area should voluntarily try to say omuma information leading to what happened. Did anybody come forward? The answer is no. obi timi volunteer information? The answer is no. Then if you leave the military in a vacuum, say we she military atade and he was screaming say we a soldier, he was screaming say we a military ni, so oba ni girlfriend who, so oba ni papa who, does it warrant anybody so obekum obi in the neighborhood? Now the whole household, say 10 houses kwa no obi aso wante, but they saw the body, the next military would invade. I told you a story, and the story was very simple. It happened with Captain Kojo Chikata, retired late Captain Kojo Chikata of Ghana. When the Ghanaian troops call Congo, how he settled in Angola or Congo, no, you heard at the time of a young captain, our the Ghanaian troops call Babia, some were trapped out there, Omukumbino, and any troops were the Koyano. The announcement and then the stand was that as they are going there to redeem and recapture the position and then also make sure say ombe liberate Omakan, his statement was that anything movable, are you listening? Anything movable, they should ground it down, including dogs, animals, and human beings. That is what soldiers are trained to do. A Ghanaian Captain Kojo Tikata, you can call Ghanaian army, whoever, a lot of them are there, they know of this fact. Anything movable, because they don't know who the enemy is. And he took a troop with that said Omia 5 and not 10. No Akolusubia, he wouldn't come to Ghana alone as a leader, as a commander, and where is your trooper? Mekungomawu. And he took that action. Heaven knows how many of them they killed before they liberated the people. And you want to mean sorry. So bishop military uniform. Na Ghana yetimiya young boys. No mako gange, no mabu military. Case by case studies basis. Yes, say we say in the case, you know, as you said, say a lander. It is unjustified meaning. But if it is lander, a private affair, whoever he has an issue with, you know, that is another thing. But then that comes to the topic of what the military of Ghana, the assignment, the recruitment, the training, the professional career that is vested in them to act and what they are supposed to do. That is where my beef is. So if it is related to lander, it is not new, it is true. Because BSc George Otibunsu land, military in uniform, with military car with GA registered number.
Just few weeks ago. Yeah. And I want to so stupidly, I'll use the word, I'm sorry, I'm not like that, but this time around, yes. Stupidly, look at how they went out there to that neighborhood at Ajengano, sitting on military pickups. The man videoed and captured them. I have some of the videos. Now mo tete pickup now mo na sensen ho. Assuming say nipa na mo koye saade no. If there was any sniper, if any of his security have loaded guns no dey atete, bububu dan wie mo kona mo tete pickup so amosre no, the person could have finished all of them. Relatively, is that a military training? So they are dumb when it comes to some of these things. So what really goes into their training? What are they to do and what are they to do? That brings you when Ghana, Niger issue, and the ECOWAS Niger, Mekachi say, you go and bring a protocol military officer who have not gone through any training for 6 months. Now, so they know Niger, you must be a waste because you waste the body, you waste their lives. And to say, if the military or soldier understand what he's doing, and know where Juma ye, and a barras ye train you without any reservations, ye train you will not turn yourself. Say obeko no akwa land because seemingly all over the country now, everywhere there is land issue. That is what we use military to do.
That is what we use to do now.
Because only a Juma.
But then in other jurisdictions, let's call Israel in perspective. Israel is the smallest army size, one of the smallest in the world. Much as I'm not fully in support of what the things they do, but woman kasa manufacturing, woman kasa production. How many weapons? How many artillery? BBN wa omoto every obi ho. Israel is Israel manufacturing BBA. What about the Balkans? What about the Croatians? What about the Serbians? What about the Czech? Obiya military on one manufacturing BBA A to Z. The one ni no na kese high pro eniema bia onzo source but obi so be source bi free no. Yen Ghana military not even common farm. We don't have farm, even for Ghana Army. They themselves doing nothing. The country is not at war. The whole Ghana, as I've always told you, say there is a green bush. You need to be any military presence or baby will be kontokwa. You need the presence of any rebels in any part of the Ghanaian bush. Our military fully active. Two holding problems. Our country and military team solve here.
I mean, once a year far soldier for you far ABA senior high school for me can recruit, yes. Can officers. Now you far tradesmen for
yes.
Yes, be okay. We a fitter, we a engineer, we are say those days. Yes. Those days school mom we BT building construction and ones for. Farouk, share acquire ye wo krom ha, and you won't see any military men cry because the contractors, you know, and any or more, and in Kama Sama Rudy, who engineers, yes, I'm 48 and 49 engineers. 48
regimental,
and you won't see them there.
Mami Kacho.
Say, ya don't know when I say, or guide bangia, now or guide to say the land.
Mebaho.
Doesn't really make sense.
Mebaho. Which country on earth? That is one military.
Top radio.
5, 6. An army commander should tell some of us who says military men, personnel, or trucks, no would be private bank, government bank. No, no filling stations, private company. Now, but if the military really have something to do, is that the work of the military? So nobody is afraid of them. That is why, because the Ghana military know you did this work or now make us say. Langard fight to Kromulusu. Langard fight to Kromulusu. Because that is not your training. Because the military must be seen as one of the highly respected body. American military, what after 2 days I wash a uniform no. Or no crown, they hold the person in high esteem, say, well, United States flag. Cry say, what salute to say, or worship the country, no, or defending the country. That alone is even enough to take him to the nether stage of life. Now when you there, Ubehu MP, Obia Chusu Peke military ope. Na military cry, excuse me, Obab. The only person in the system that's supposed to have a military is the commander-in-chief of Republic of Ghana. Onukwa is a military dinachi. It's a commander-in-chief. Any other person could be a police. The defense is for the military, for the government, for the president. He's the commander-in-chief. Only there, yes. Oh, here one police, oh, here one army. To balance the civil and to balance the defense. That is okay. Not to the sense MP. Onu chusu peke military so den kofi. O chusu peke military behwe ni ofie. That is what it is the case. If you are talking about a country be or rough radical system, it is a Colombia, your friend is saying other parts of the world, Ecuador, El Salvador need those places are any Mexico. You can say it's okay, military, they can guide the bank. And no, even with that one, it's seen as the company of the military. They have a company. That is the tax force company, which they work and also collect the money to take care. It's also internally generated fund for the company. Not the Ghana Ministry of Defense account. Not the commander-in-chief or the Ghana Armed Forces chief of staff account. No, it doesn't work out like that. Your country is radicalized. Into there are certain positions, government institutions be or they let the military to go and support. Ordinarily, no, the police is enough to take care of it. Now, your team free that kind of services to the people, services by the military in your film, and all what we are seeing is and I mean, okay, say after this program, and you will find military men on pickups going to guard somebody's property, somebody's land, or demolition exercise. And then the history and the story, it's always very simple. The military command says, we have not authorized anybody. But we have not seen anybody that they brought also in books. Mr. Otibonsu's case in perspective, in scenario, as a reference point. The numbers were there. So the military cannot tell me, say they don't know who was driving the car that night. If the person is brought in, you should show who were the people sitting on the car, not more less than 5 or 6. Why are they? Have we seen one person numbered?
So have we seen they have to punish that and
it is not to punish them. Is it the services to be rendered by Ghana Army so that we know that we have the military that work demolition exercise. Demolition exercise. Meanwhile, long-standing feud between Alabanyo and Nkonya. Reb Omo Mukunyo, they are not up to 24 or Tiabofe. Ghana military cannot solve that problem. With all due respect, Alabanyo Nkonya, what must solve? What about Boko? What about Boko?
Day in and out.
You go and build a barrier at Boko, and then an assailant will come behind there and kill the military. Military Boko. What must solve issue? No? So what is your beef on people's land? What is your beef? And it's just so rampant now.
Why are we there? Why are we here? I mean,
why are we here? Because of what? Disrespect to order. Because we don't, as a country, we don't respect our own services, laws, rules, and regulations.
At what point any who say a soldier for and a military much I say yes or no? Because ni banning say military who so busy or big guy do be land and at what point and omulusu omu control
two Dansuma police officers in the 90s. Elko your friend Sablekuma Emma Obekai sa incident of the police people who were ginger any ninja.
Yeah.
They buried them alive, concreted them. Those people, some of them are still serving. They are serving, I think, life sentences. At that time was the beginning of all these genesis.
Oh.
We didn't have these things. That was the beginning of the land guards. Now start to Accra. It has led through that. But then for you to know, say, all the military guys on properties are government high profile officers. Government high profile officers. I don't think so. I'll be able to get access to any police or military officer to go and do that exercise.
David. Fire service crying na campus.
Do you understand me? And you shall land in a military focus so echo guide any domu. You see,
I mean the government officials.
Most of them, most of them.
Yeah.
And then of course predominantly also other estate developers.
More connected to politicians.
Yeah, because if even they are connected to politicians, some of them genuinely go to the military and ask for support, for guide, etc., depending on the terrain. Which I'm saying, say, if there's a justification authorized and authorized by Omar hierarchy, it be supported by a court document, I may not have necessary problem. It is also maybe to defend, but not traditionally said military ne the post. Now a certain captain or a certain brigadier or certain command on one instruction say I've sent this and that to go and do XYZ. No more on authority because but if there's a military yes or Sambo Niama Israeli military or yaya telephones eton Bangladeshi or military or Niama or produce Niama or palm polo shirts. Bangladeshi military or palm polo shirts at the Dubai in the name of a disguised company. Are you getting me? Philippines, military, they do a lot of things. Don't pam macra panties, military, Philippine military. Pam panties. There is an international brand, Victoria's Secret. Go and ask them. So American they pam the Victoria's Secret, sir. Military take job and work. If they have nothing to do, redundant. They make service and make money. They are not going to say that produced by Philippine military. But they have a disguised company that happens to be original as the manufacturer. But the job itself is done by military. Na Ghana Army, uniform. Woko Accra, now wakoto military uniform. No wako Kasoa. No hotel ni no apamamau. They can't even sew their own uniforms.
How can they respect you?
Ghana,
how can I respect you?
Yes, that is how we brought our military to her knees. So woman can send the tom uniform. No atone mpabwa, no atone cap, no akwa pam. So what kind of military that are we? Luckily, Ghana, I would forever say, is the Switzerland of West Africa. And then Switzerland of Africa. Obi any country will say any problem. And the country will be also attack a country where to be the most miserable and messy country. Because our military is so soft, so weak.
Top radio.
But say at say omoko your friend is say omoko Lebanon and so omoko we say I mean your military na normally omo defense. That's what
musku na mko eni ayanche mo hwe me ko makaranta bedumabon. Because if I'm to educate you, there is a difference between going for a combat war and going for peacekeeping. They go for peacekeeping, be kwacha there.
Na yesi ekokra e bi say ntokwa mo edane ya bohisi na munya makwa underground.
No, but you're a peacekeeper. I understand them.
Yes.
They are peacekeepers. South Sudan so omo ye share omo ye no omo bebre e den okoye peacekeeping. You are not going for aggression. One kon tokwa. It's only when you attack them and ombe shake up kakra. Yes, yeah. But beside that, if you're a peacekeeper, now one should say Ghana did 20
before Betima atutu kra this a UN kra can't.
And then I make sure they are going for peacekeeping. Peacekeeping, you don't meddle yourself up in that country in problem say oh kwa kuntokwa. And Amaka say Ghana military say or the 250 at the Lebanon or bar or the 260 neighbor. And he's saying omo mo ka ho no we military na ko bi country na no bi ko wo a wo dia kra be ka ho aba Nigeria army ba Ecomac omo ko Ecomac eko Sierra Leone no omo ka flight ne ba no omo return a ebi ankra omo gusu no omo ire mo na omo akofom Sierra Leone no ene Liberia no omo nko abo one full flight. Do you understand me? Into one kontokwa oko peacekeeping. And it's all the 200 troops do ko. So
when I say commander in chief and I say you blame and CDS yes. And I say defense minister when I say blame.
Listen, the defense minister is a ministry. Then when you come to the job itself, defense minister has got nothing to do with the ministry, how the army do their
so CDS and I say yeah.
On the command, on the how it works, you have to tell Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense, you know, think of it is a ministry or not in the interface between the ministry and the government. They don't make laws for the soldiers. Ministry
so
of Defense
CDS do proposal but and I said this oh the idea but said this is what we want to do. Now the commander in chief say there be me I don't support that. This is not their business.
So be it. That is the reason why our soldiers, you know, only access even when they employ or when they take on. Only recruitment, if they will tell you the truth, if the Ministry of Defense, if politicians and they recruiting or they bro, they only bring the boys omo trunk and omo your friends say omo mattresses and boys and one gate, then you have to take them. You don't screen them. You cannot screen them. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You don't call Bondasi na chance. They run away. They can't. And they disrespect even the commanders on the ground. They disrespect them, the sergeant, the commander, the RSMs. They respect them. They don't even submit to the training. And then when it comes to even say, more postings, they choose and pick where they want to go. Because you, the commander, you are receiving instruction from anywhere possible. Send Makreni me or Accra or no Buaminti keeping Wakra into Tamale Onko.
Live on top 103.1, 50 minutes after 4. Final point and the bro holiday edition of Final Point and the bro 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the bro for when we catch and says or feel say about 7 p.m. and they are 7 p.m. intino on for feeding into us on joining SC na ye kona na makacho on command door so ye bedin komo makacho say Farouk ye man of many parts intini ye befa baby ye hwe military kakra Farouk say wo ye CDS SC enkawo measures bang.
The first measure is to go back and look at the recruitment drive of the Ghana Army. It's completely abysmal.
And do you think you can do that?
That is what you should be able to do that. Without that, you are not a military. The military works on instructions of military. We're having the flag given to you by the country to defend the country.
Which of course you have someone on your commander in chief.
Well, a commander in chief does not mean so. No. If there's something happening at the presidency, the fallback is the military that has to move.
Can you threat the commander in chief with something and so that whatever officer beboa military no yeah or support yeah?
My man instruction. My man advise example.
Okay.
President Bush visited
Ghana. Top radio.
President Kufuor time.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he was, I'm on national air, so people will tell you, those who were there, because you and co, they were there at the executive wing of the president, chief of staff.
Okay.
Before President Bush entered the Ghana president's office to have a meeting with President Kufuor has to come out for his room to be searched. His instructions from United States.
Our president of Ghana, the president of land.
You signed as an undertaking of the security requirement before so Baba visit you. Now, plus minus, we can go into details. But when President Bush was leaving out Ghana, the instructions was that, including military, including everybody on the tarmac, including immigration officer, nobody was supposed to turn around and look. President Bush. And I remember at that time, who was the commander of the airport, security commander of Ghana, Kotoka International Airport. We were with him at the gate. I had the badge. All the visits, anywhere President Bush went, we went there. We went to the presidency. So I'm talking about what really took place. Or say, I'm there. They say, come on, get the hell out of here. They're totally free. American Sergeant Unisi form.
In charge of Ghana's airport.
Ghana's airport at that time. Go and ask him that I said they didn't even allow him to enter. Immigration officers will turn in it. The tarmac and an nice wall. That was the instructions. Now listen to what follows. When President Bush had walked on the red carpet, the only person, more media men, all of them, Yadimugu cargo truck so on airport, media personnel with their cameras. Instructions from where? From the American Ministry of Defense, the American Defense, the Secret Service, the CIA, the FBI's. They all come as a joint force and instruct the U.S. president what is to do. Now listen, Bush flamboyant. He didn't really want to, because he had never been a military. Clinton was never a military. Obama was not a military. But George Bush senior man be military. No, they know how to obey instructions. And to Bush and President Kufuor, as he normally was working, the commander, I'm referring to the American commander of the security of President Bush. He shouted at him.
Or shouted president.
You dare not. Koyes actually Nana Akufo-Addo. Oh man, I mean, Koyes actually any African president. But South Africa they do. He shouted at him to stand there. And so I watch a US president cannot sit in even his own car. The beast, you won't meet them with that State Department, with that defense, with that security, with that secret services, tell him to go into the car. Because they were taking instructions from America.
Wow.
Because they were being satellite. So when they agreeably, he had the instruction to allow him to sit down, and don't go and hit your head. That is how it works. So president, through a commander-in-chief, the military has to control you. It has nothing to do with Minister of Defense. Minister of Defense, he has nothing to do with how the military should do their things. They plan and plot and design their own strategy, how to defend, how to follow a president. And to recruitment drive. Now be as it may say, your politicians, are decided what goes into our life. As far as our services delivery is concerned, that is okay. Fine, say, I say, when the DH, when the man is coming a campaign, sadly, but when say, the boys in Kwabra say, a protocol recruit, let the military laws prevail. That is the defense. Let them understand the discipline. That is the defense. Ghana Army. Remember the story and the military for so montiase. Me say, they are too beautiful and too handsome even to be a military to go on a combat. Now for military overcall cantonments area. No, military and pedicure and nada obako when uniform shen. And pedicure and manicure. Child the military or no and pedicure, Niger military or no pedicure that. What could you answer on any cocoon? You see, we have just limited and brought our military to so low value And it's so sad, say, a young man sitting in a car, killed. So sad. What did he go out there to do? Say, on one land, no crana. As long as say or share uniform, no, it could have been say, Osu, it became on one assassin. It could have been say one guy. It could have been say, your friend is saying, an unfortunate situation, and a cocotono. But it has been a practice, say, a said now, no, military for guide the land, military for demolish it. And they be or share uniform crack up a threat. Emma whoever will be a homo feud over the land into a kunu because a military one kuna be on so baby kunu. Naturally, or military net you crown. I don't think they need to be a crown. But see how miserably Oko meeting on timely dead. You couldn't free. He only knows what he went there for. He only knows. Ebikwana, he was not on duty, but he was in a uniform. So if you are not on duty and you are a uniformer, what are you seeking to do? What are you seeking to attract? You are attracting fire on yourself. And that is what you got out of it. It is so sad. It is so painful. Say a young man, or one ire, or one ba, or one mommy, or one family at this time, no, will be a kunu. And Ghana, as it is, you and I know, say, until the next 20, 35 years to come, 40 years, and unresolved mystery of death. As I've told you, nobody. Ghana kills more than any country in West Africa. No country in West Africa kills more than Ghana. No country, I'm talking about Ghanaian killing each other. Either ritual murder, land, days, battery, wife, children. Ghana averagely for the last 15 years, there's no country. Whoever wants to challenge, Minister of Interior can come, police can come, they should bring the data. Even Attorney General, unresolved murder cases, unresolved edaho.
Not even Nigeria.
Not even Nigeria. Nigeria talking about in numerical sense of the population, but average sense. How many times has somebody killed somebody in Togo? A whole year they don't register more than 5.
Because you are not there,
Papa. And I make sure say
unless maybe wait within and you be
make sure say I am telling you, so take it from me. Ghana kills more than any other country in West Africa. We've been killing ourselves. Check it, Boko. How many armed robbers? Koko Senegal, armed robber will be 5 minutes China. Senegal, they don't register more. The whole 2 years, they don't register more than 20.
But you always say Ghana is the most peaceful country.
Peaceful of the nationals, we, the citizens. But I'm talking about killings. It's peaceful. Baby and Tokabi, civil uprising be war. Baby a rebel uprising be war. Baby a hold up of military and police. Yes, Obi sofo ose waye no makumo bi nurse ni asie no life ya kwacha ke tue nipa no oda ho we akum how many politicians kwa do say na nkofu akum mo journalists do say na akum mo that in Cote d'Ivoire no kra waye war raged. Have you heard it? Ko Gambia ne kokum obi ko Senegal what Guinea Mali won say Mali akum nipa Benin ha what so obi awu. Every blessed day, I'm robber killed this, I'm robber killed that, I'm robber killed that. Put that one aside. Nigeria, I need more time than near Tessanded. Nigeria robbery cost, but I'm talking about look at the vast land and the population of 250 to 350. Now our population just only 28 million or 30 million. Every blessed day, we are journalists, Ghana Web and other news platforms. Every blessed day.
I didn't tell you to put stop to this.
How do you put stop? Because one, we have bad judicial system. 2, we have bad information processing system. We gather information, but we process bad information. And the police will take the complaints. Yakofa dependent national bottom. You not go to police hospital, waiting for whatever. Why many of these murders and a police abasi yehuni pano? Ye diabachi ni pano suswa. Onwan kasa na ye admitted no. Up to now, court trial in the case of Mankesim Gen Nomkuno.
Yeah.
Is it a country that you should waste time and energy to wait for any lawyer to come and sit in such a case?
Guy no chuchobi ni ono any
free of charge. Selan ya didn't court for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they pronounce judgment.
Yeah.
na yes say state resources
sitting MP
ye near fat docket say is going to Attorney General Department for advice. How many dockets know Attorney General and who is advising that docket?
And also blame why?
What's that?
Judicial system.
But the new judicial system, Attorney General, can't you dispense of those cases and send it back? Police should go ahead.
And at top radio.
And then about Attorney General team with the per Ghana laws and Ghana constitution say case now your unresolved murder. I am from Attorney General. What is the police there? Cote d'Ivoire police they do the prosecutions without resort to any Attorney General. That is not the work of Attorney General. That is not the work of Attorney General. Obia kumobi oni police me ni ye exchange gunshot or two police ni tuokunu in a robbery incident. Ya chene ba na police na ankasa ne docket is what is alleged. E di nipa ku next time no akwa allege o go sa allege. It is alleged. Suspect. Is it not sad? The country has lost, we've lost directions in many things. So some of us will get so overly emotional because you compare the country to other countries. Papa, go to Tanzania, go to a place like Kenya.
And at top radio.
Now go and see how Kenya law works. The police. Now go jana ni Kenya military police. Now we exchange. Ya chewa ni abetwe ho ni etwe alleged suspect. Now no police ni a oku ni yonko police ni no. Na police ni sa sorry anopa. No afa no de no court. No akwaji adjournment. No de no court to some extent. A murderer police ni de ne ka sika. Onu an pocket money and a coffin on some no identity trot room, handcuff, no identity back or dinako.
Farouk, ya shift na yemre kasi yejina system ne military yemre no.
It's a joking paradise. This is
joking paradise.
This country.
You don't mean it.
Yeah, but it's a peaceful country. But it's a joking paradise. You don't know. Nenye joking paradise. Kwame Nkrumah Avenue up to downtown Accra. In front of the faces, in the eyes of the Ghana police, she be a market woman at the market na bedu. At me G road. Market woman G road. No move to a chamber port, no move P. No move Shegu road, there's no police in Nijina Hall. You cannot arrest her. Yes, I want trouble. Is it a joking paradise? It's not a joking paradise. Look at the traffic. Now the exit roads in the neighborhood. Obi mechanic a friend fitter. At me one full street. No, yeah, straighten work. Our road, no so. Aji road, no neighborhood. People in the neighborhood can't even park their cars. Now me metia road worthy.
Sorry.
Metia road worthy. Now mechanic in my area, in your area, in her area, or no aji road. And you hold no that. Or then the boys are your feet. No aje, or jen some paperwork yen BBA or spray car jet finger. Mechanical J cars LDC road so for 25 years. You were AME.
Live on top.